Well, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna have a pretty cool, another cool day of a bunch of old tractors. There's a local gentleman in town, like I said in the last video. There's a gentleman like on the other side of town there who has a plow day every year, and usually we try to get to it. We don't always stay all day, but we just go over there and plow a little bit just to fulfill our itch, and then we come over and then we usually plow our double crop bean ground and our sorghum ground at some point before it freezes. Last year it did freeze before we did it, but that was a real pain trying to get the 706 through because the horsepower is a little bit less on that thing than it is on our bigger tractors. But anyway, so yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. I have to pull the slide outs in on our camper and hustle a couple 8 weights around, so muscles. So yeah, we'll muscle those weights around and go get, we have to move the livestock trailer and the general to get to the 1206's dual, but the 14 already has this plow dual on and we don't have to take another dual off, so should be good on that one. So we're filling the tractor up, as you can see, and I'm gonna grab a bolt. I can never remember what size these bolts are for the dual hub, for the duals. They're either 13/16 or 15/16. I thought they were 15/16, but it appears as though it's a 13. Light on. So we'll grab the socket and the correct, grab the correct socket and the impact, sorry. Where is this? There's 13. Nope, they are 15. Yeah, alright. They are 15, so grab that, and then the impact and a battery here. Most of the time we just steal batteries off of other things. Alright, now we're ready to go. Hopefully the 12 of us pretty close to full by now, and then we'll be ready to go. Bottom of that one. Huh? Bottom of that one. This one? Yeah. So it's about 45 minutes-ish later. You saw we got the 4 bottom for the 12-0 hooked up, and it's ready to go. We have to stop by home and put some suitcase weights on the front there, And then we got my grandpa's 5-bottom plow out for the 1466. We'll be pulling that with it. These are both International 720 plows. It's a pretty common, pretty popular plow. I believe they're 16-inch plows. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're 16-inch plows. So this is a 4-bottom, and then it's on the 12, and the 12 pulls it pretty nice. And that's a 5-bottom, both 720s, like I said. And the 14 pulls it pretty nice too. So it makes them both work. It makes both their turbos spool up a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty nice. I think the 1206 was rated at a 6-bottom plow, maybe. I think it was rated at a 6-bottom plow when it first came out, but our dirt is so compacted, it's so much different than Nebraska's dirt was in the 60s, so that's why she does just fine with the 4-bottom. So all right, we'll hook up the 14 and go home, throw some weights on, and then we'll go plow a little while. So to grease this thing. And I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. And then we'll take this back down to the hangar, I think, somewhere down there, and park it until 3 weeks from now, or I don't know, whenever we plow our double crop beans. So I'll let the tractor cool off here for a minute, and then we'll get to greasing. So, all right, pulled out of the field here. Take my screwdriver and clean up the plow. First, I'm gonna show you around the plow in case you don't know how it works. It's pretty simple. This is your coulter, and it's running up along. We're plowing in beans today because some of the older plows, they can't really go through corn stalks. I've never plowed in corn stalks, but it sounds like everybody else in the world has. But I think we're going to this year, just a little bit in corn stalks. But anyway, so this coulter's running on the ground, just cutting the bean stubble or cutting the chaff so that that doesn't get plugged up. And this is your bottom, plow bottom right here. This just literally just takes the dirt, most of the dirt, and just flips it over like that, and just flips it over on top of the other dirt. This just takes it and kind of like just pushes it down here, so it has a firm bottom to go to, and there's 4 of those. And if you hit a rock in the field, some of them nowadays, or not nowadays, they don't make them anymore as much. Some plows have a spring reset. This is a manual reset. So as you can see right here, this piece right here is over centered, so it's pushing down. I don't know, if it pushes on this, it'll push this up, but it's pushing down. But if you hit a rock, it'll pop up like, I don't know, like that right there. And let me see if I can do it for you. It'll pop up, you hit a rock, and then it'll pop the whole bottom up like that. And then usually this one kind of acts like it's going to go down by itself. Usually you have to get off the tractor and push it down to reset it. But that's what that is. But yeah, most of the time it's over centered like that, and if you hit a rock, it'll pop up. This steering arm, this is the furry wheel right here, and that's the land wheel. We'll get to that in a minute. The drawbar, which is what the screwdriver's sitting on right there. This will, as you turn, the drawbar will turn, and then it'll turn this, pull that bar, which will come back here. There's some plows like the 4 bottom for the 706. It's 1 bar, but if you get bigger, as you get bigger, it gets to 2 bars. They'll pull this bar, and they'll pull this, which turns that wheel right there. So the plow's always following you. It's not gonna be a shorter turn than the tractor. It's gonna kind of have to watch out so it doesn't pop out and hit something like a light pole or something like that. But so yeah, that's the furry wheel, and this is the land wheel. This is what, when you go into the ground, when the plow goes in the ground, this is what stays up on the ground, on top. And that's how you set the depth of your plow. This is a 1-way cylinder, so it'll only go down as far as this land wheel will let it. So you can obviously change it right there. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the plow. We'll clean it off here and get over, and Dad's going home to get a grease gun. So one other thing is, if you see the plow like that right there, you see it'll, on almost every tractor, a 14 does it and a 10 does it, and all our older tractors do it. The 2-point will reset because the plow's so like that again. The plow's so heavy, it's just pulling it down very slowly, and then it'll pop up to reset it where you set it at. But when it's in the ground, it doesn't do it, I don't think. But once it's up and the full weight of the plows on it, then it does that. Today was pretty good plowing conditions, actually really good. It wasn't muddy, but it also wasn't dust. I think, what, 3 years ago when we did some plowing for ourselves, it was literally just crumbly. It was so dry. It was a really dry winter, or a really dry fall, I should say, not winter. It snowed that day when we were plowing by ourselves, but yeah, I'd say it was really good plowing condition. There was some crumbly stuff, and then there was some some really heavy clay that bogged down the 12, and front wheels were starting to bounce on the ground. And one of the end rows, actually somebody must have drove over it a lot when they were cutting beans or something, because whew, that was a lot of, it was really compacted. So, and the front wheels of the 12 were off the ground with 400 pounds of suitcase weights on there. So yeah, it was quite a spectacle. It's not very many, it's not a big deal when that people leave they don't close the dead furry, because the gentleman who puts that on, he'll go back later and chisel it. He may even do that today or tomorrow. He'll go back and chisel all of it, because nobody's perfect and everybody's plow set different. And when you're plowing, you want your front, the dirt that your front bottom is throwing over, you want it to be about flat with the guy that went before you. Otherwise, and you do that, you work that around with the 2-point arms, up and down. The back can stay down all the time, and that's how you make your even fray for the next guy. But the front, you'll fluctuate depending on how the guy in front of you is plowing, whether he was real deep or real shallow, or yeah. So, and not everybody does that really necessarily. So it looks kind of like an ocean across there if you drive by. But that's okay, as long as everybody's enjoying themselves. I certainly enjoyed myself doing that. I love plowing. And same thing with end rows. Not everybody just wants to bring their old tractor to plow with. They don't really want to spend all the extra time marking. The gentleman who puts it on, he goes out there the day before and plows all the headlands. And yeah, like nobody wants to stand and step off how far apart their lands need to be, and nobody wants to do end rows. I mean, like some people they'll go out and do the end rows. Some people will at the end, or some people do a dead fray, but like it's only just for the heck of it. They don't have to. Usually you'd have to close the dead fray and do the end rows, which is what we'll do. But like I said earlier, I'm not very good at closing a dead fray. I mean, I haven't done it before, but it looks simple, but I'm sure it's not as simple as it looks. So. Alright, we'll head up and grease the plow and head her on down there to the hangar or elk house and unhook it and go on with the rest of our day. When I say grease, I mean this kind of grease. There we go. Last time I greased a plow, I had the brilliant idea to grease it when it was like 15 degrees out. Yeah, all I did was really just like smear it around. It didn't really do anything. Try this. There we go. This is to prevent the plow bottom from rusting too bad, because you know it's obviously shined up, but if you don't grease it, then it's going to get rusty. And then it's less likely, it won't get shined up as easy. If you know how old rust works, like old rust. There we go. Well, one plow done, don't mind the color change there. And one jacket shed. Whew, it's getting kind of tediously warm doing this job. So, oh, and yeah, one more done. 4 more bottoms left, and then we'll be done with the greasing. Everybody's least favorite part. My favorite part. The only reason I do grease is because of the little tabby that you get to take off the grease tube when you open it. And you know what I'm talking about, the little, that's my favorite part. So, all right, we'll start on this plow. Okay, 2 plows done. 1 and then 2. I ended up and greased the up here and everything. None of these seem to want to take these greasable bolts there. But yeah, 2 plows done and 1 jacket that's going in the wash as soon as it gets home. Dad is gonna, I guess, move the corn head around, and I don't know what he's gonna do. He already took the bean head off and emptied out the grain tank with all that nasty crap that was in there from last night, as you saw, and so I'm not sure what he's gonna do now. So we'll clean up around here, take our gloves back in there, and agreed that I took a cap off the grease. We went through 3 different colors of grease today. We went through the green stuff, blue, green stuff, the pink stuff. I did those 4 bottoms and almost these 4 bottoms over here. And then, but I ran out, and then we had some clear grease that you can see on the bottom there, and whatever I used with this stuff right there. So yeah, 3 different tubes of grease, 3 different colors. Alright, so we're over here at Tim's. I'm gonna go VT for a little while. He got done with ripping. I'm not sure when he got done, but all that bean field, all that, it was 120 acres out there, I think. He got ripped. So Ripper's sitting over there on the pad there. So I'm gonna go in here and grab me a snack, and then we'll head on out, and we're gonna VT, at least start on that field across the road there. He said he got the corner field done, which is down there, I don't know, about half a mile, a little over half a mile. He said he got that done, and so I'm not sure if he got the railroad field done or not. It looks like, yeah, got the wagons put away. It's my fault for not being here. He got the wagons put away, looks like, and he maybe got the combine cleaned up. Oh no, he didn't, not yet.
Online and order it that way. Which, looking back, I wish I would have done that. Bedlam is Waylon Jennings, entitled Songbird, and it's amazing. I ordered both. I ordered the vinyl and got a. Oh yeah, informed for sure. By golly, it's clean clear of flag now. Come on. Yeah, the big 10-4 there, big Minnie. Yeah, we definitely got the first hour good, buddy. First thing sakes alive. Looks like we got us a convoy. Can't overbeat with a reefer on and a Jimmy.
Well, you might wonder why we're outside now. Well, you guys were sitting right there. You're about 2 inches away from there being no more camera. The windows open and to get some fresh air in there. It's getting kind of stuffy, and I reached back to close it, and thunk, you guys fell out. So good thing no one was hurt. All right, let's get back to going. We're done here for the evening. It's Saturday. Otherwise, I'd leave this thing in the field, but nobody's gonna be in it tomorrow. So I just pulled it over here into the yard, barn lot. We were running about 6.7 or 8. That's really fast for me. And nowadays, you get a high-speed disc, you're going upwards of 10 mile an hour up in there. Whew, that's really fast. I think it'll take some getting used to if I was to hop into a quad track and go high-speed disc for a little while, but that would definitely take some getting used to. And there's combines now. The new combines, they run 6 or 7 mile an hour shelling corn, and they can handle it, which is bizarre to me. But yeah, I've never personally run over 3.5 and shelling corn in the combine, and barely over 3 run it with the cutting beans. But yeah, nowadays those combines are so advanced that they'll speed up and slow down for you. They'll read the grain coming in before it even gets to the head, and tell the internal computer stuff to speed up or slow down, or open the sieves or close the sieves or open the concaves, whatever. So speaking of sieves, so I think I told you or showed you whatever last night. The grain tank was a mess with the double crop beans, and Dad was hooking up the corn head today to go shell a little bit of corn to clean out the tank. The bubble up auger was starting to get slimy stuff all over it. We don't want that, especially if it's going to sit inside all winter. It'll stink by spring. So he went and shelled some of his cousin's corn just to clean that out for us. Then we saw that the sieves, just the bottom sieve. I don't think we usually mess with the top sieves very much, but the bottom, the shoe sieve, is what we usually mess with. He said, "Oh, well, this is still set on corn." And I was like, "Well, that would have been helpful last night. Maybe we could have cleaned up our tank a little bit." But I climbed out one time, and those beans, whew, they were stacking like 25% corn, just like straight up. They weren't flowing out, which the beans were dry. I don't know if I said this already, but the beans were dry. It's just all the nasty green pods and stuff were making them not flow very well. So yeah, that's the deal on the double crop beans. So. All right, well, I think I'll shut this thing down and head home for the night. So, it was a busy day. Went and had some nostalgia at the neighbors and plow day, and we'll plow some of our own come probably 2 or 3 weeks from now. So yeah, make sure you stick around for that. Alright, well, I think that's going to be our wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you enjoyed it, or I don't know. Alright, until the next video, we'll be out.